"Will you be needing any further assistance?" an older, shorter elf asked Tonklin. "Sir." The elf was speaking the common tongue, and his words were polite enough, but his tone and diction clearly indicated that he was not at all happy that Tonklin, a human traveller here in the elven city of Emberfire, would sit down at one of his tables. The elf was dressed in a finely ruffled silk shirt and tight, dark leggings. He wore a long and pocketed apron tied very properly about his waist. Tonklin sat at a small table at the side of a large, round plaza near the centre of the city. He smirked and waved the man away without a word. Even though it was night, the area was brightly lit with hundreds of small gemstone shards, each magically glowing a different colour. In addition, larger gems were mounted higher up, strategically placed under shiny reflectors, brightly lighting the plaza. The air was a strange mix of chill and warmth. It was the dead of a winter night, true, and Emberfire City was built high up on the side of a mountain. Still, the ground radiated a comfortable temperature. Steam rose from vent holes all around the plaza, fed through tunnels and piping from the volcanic heat deep in the mountain underneath. Occasionally, the breeze would shift and the heated steam would waft past him. He thought about taking off his cloak. There weren't many people outside on the plaza at this hour, and that suited him fine. Tonklin sipped his wine. It was actually very good, one of the best he had ever tasted. However, he was careful not to react too much. He didn't want to give the elvish waiter the pleasure of impressing him.
"Snivelling little twit. He'll think differently about me before next year is out."
He glanced across the other tables at the door to the inn. The elf watched him warily from the window.
"He'll be like all the others in Twin Rivers. They will remember me soon enough."
The sounds of singing and dancing drifted through the plaza, along with the smells of roasting meats and baked breads. It all came from various inns, taverns, and eateries all around the square. The city was ramping up into Winterfest. A full week of parties and celebrations would descend into the city, and for most people, real work would stop. Tonklin looked closely at the festive lights. These were magically empowered gems called the Oculi Creator, the eyes of the Creator. The colour of the individual oculus often revealed the kind of magic that empowered it.
"Blue is for mental powers, right? I'll bet there's a clairvoyant wizard on the other end of all those blue gem shards, keeping a tight watch over the plaza."
He dropped his gaze and scanned the far side of the plaza, paying particular attention to the smaller streets and alleyways that opened up into the public space. In the entrance to one, not too far to his right, he saw an elvish lady standing under a larger oculus lamp. Her cloak was short, and the dress that hung from underneath was a subdued red and wrapped snugly around her knees. She looked in Tonklin's direction, then set her gaze to the ground, a gesture of a servile attitude. Tonklin smiled and stood. He was a stout, even portly man, and not too tall for a human. His hair was a bit long, but well groomed, and his beard was neatly trimmed as well. He shook his cloak into a comfortable place and strode over to the woman. When he arrived at her side, they regarded each other. She was a high elf by birth, but her life didn't seem to be as elegant as what many of those in the plaza had that night. Not among those in the centre of the city, anyway.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.